on Be Live Studio 2, as you can see over there. And welcome to today's show. It's Monday. It's 12 p.m. Eastern. It's 5 p.m. in the UK. We're waiting for the sun to come out, but it is getting warmer. And I'd just like to say hello to Corinda. And Corinda's comment is more than welcome. Thank you, Corinda. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that the display of the comments has changed and your image is shown larger on screen and the text is larger too. So we're making progress. Now, there are two things I've got to do today before we get down to business. And the first thing, obviously, is to welcome you to the show and to the replay. During today's show, I'm going to be talking about Be Live Studio 2 Beta and bringing you some updates that have just been released and that we can all make use of. And another comment from Corinda. So let's take that off screen and bring Corinda on screen. Yeah, I noticed that. Okay, and say hello to Fonz. And if anybody wants to join me today, it's open house, and the link I'm posting now, if I can. Yep. So if I press send, you'll get the link through in a minute. And Corinda is saying, is there a default on the text? Basically, the text sizes itself dynamically. So the text will actually, depending on how many words there are, it will decide what font to use. So that's totally dynamic. And we're joined by the Video Show Network, which can only mean one thing. That's the link. And two things I want to do before I actually get officially underway. One is this, and I hope you agree with me. And let's sing to David. It's David Burrow's birthday today. Now, I'm not saying how old he is. I wouldn't do that. But happy birthday, David. David's busy today because it's not only David's birthday, it's Canada Day. So happy Canada Day to all our viewers in Sarnia in Canada and around Canada. And we don't have an Independence Day. The US has an Independence Day. Canada has an Independence Day, but we don't. We're missing out. So happy birthday, David. And Fonz is saying he loves the new comments layout. Now, you missed this, Mr. T off. Oh, good. Right, now the thing about the new comments layout, and I'm going to go with the updates, because what I want to do is I want to cut out this segment of the program and using Animura's new updated software, I can talk about Be Live Studio 2 updates. Let's take David's message off screen for a moment, and then I'll talk about Be Live Studio 2 updates. Okay, I'll come to your comments in a minute, Corinda. Right, okay, the updates that have been released are as follows. The viewer's comments display now shows a larger photograph, and in addition to that, it scrolls the text. I'll show you what I mean, shall I? This is from the agenda, and I put this on screen. So this is just taken from the BBC website, and the comment is displayed up on screen, and what is more, before your very eyes, after a second or two, that comment will begin to scroll. Okay, so we have the ability to scroll comments, and it will refresh and scroll whilst we're on screen, and that can be quite handy because, as you see there, you can actually write a paragraph, and that can be scrolling. And let's just do a little experiment here. If I change the font, change the classic, and apply, and we'll see what happens. The font resizes magically, and it all fits. Now, I don't think you can read that, so I'm going to switch back to here, and you should be able to read that, hopefully. Right, so in terms of Studio 2 updates, you now have scrolling text, and I shall take that off screen. And congratulations to our #1 tennis player. So we've got scrolling agenda items. The second thing we have is, okay, I haven't said it officially, so happy Canada Day, everybody. And okay, now the other changes that have been made on BeLive Studio 2 is that BeLive Studio 2 is now available for mobile users on Android. So you can use your Android phone to come in on any show as a guest. All shows we know must start from desktop, but you can come in as a guest. Basically, download the latest app from Google Play. Make sure you've got the latest version of the app. Your host will send you a link. You press the link, log in with Facebook, and you're in the show. And it is more powerful than the last system, and it's a joy to use. So I'm going to use those words quite often today. So BeLive Studio is available. Studio 2 is available on Android. iOS is on the way, and as soon as it arrives, then I will do a short broadcast to let you know. Let's catch up with the comments. And Corinda is saying, on the old one is red or blue, can't Studio 2. I can change the color of the text if I'm on the old system. I can't change the color of text if I'm on the new one. Okay. And Fonz has got a comment which I'm going to read off the screen, and that comment is, I'm waiting for it. I might have to press it again. Press it again. It will come up on screen in a minute. It cuts the last letter off. Will that be fixed? Yes. We've mentioned the parsing of a sentence. You should never finish a sentence, well, a line of display with a split word. You should always complete the word by dropping down onto the next line. Now, I could write that in code, look for last space on the line, and then do a carriage return at that point. So yes, it will be fixed. In actual fact, I think they've done it on one layout, but not another. So we shall see. Okay, back to the agenda. And as I say, if you want to join me live, you can. Now, you can have on your BeLive Studio 2 show as many audio-only guests as you like. It's unlimited. Yeah? So if 20 people want to come live audio-only, they can. If 30 people want to do it, they can. If one person wants to do it, they can. That's a subtle hint to anybody who's out there. You can come in to a BeLive Studio 2 broadcast and you can switch off your camera. And that will mean that basically you can then be brought into the broadcast, which is where I am, and people will be able to hear you. So audio feeds is unlimited. So if you're running a radio show with guests, it's ideal. So that is good. And Fonz has seen that, and Fonz is saying, in a second, good, once it's fixed, it will be amazing. I totally agree with that. And also Corinda is saying, I'm listening, I'm working on my radio. Okay, excellent. And Corinda is saying, wow. So as many audio only guests as you want. You don't need to appear on camera. You just come in using the link I posted earlier. And that link is here. I'm going to post it again. And there's the link. If you want to come in audio only, then you can do so. So this lends itself to actually doing broadcasts with a cast of thousands. Not saying that we should have a cast of thousands, but Fonza's thinking, and we'll take Fonza's comment on board. Have you managed to get your station up and running? It's up, but it's not running. I'm hoping to get around to it tomorrow. It's sort of dropped down, and now we have the link if you want to join me on camera. And Corinda is saying yes. unless that question was to Corinda. It could have been to Corinda. I might have misinterpreted it, that the question was in fact for Corinda. Okay, so let's take everything off screen. And it is Canada Day today, where they celebrate their independence and the combining of 3 different areas into one. And David is out and about on the streets of Sarnia, broadcasting live to the citizens of the city, and therefore can't appear on this broadcast, but he will be live on his own show at 3:30 Eastern later today. So let's go back. We've got unlimited audio guests. We've got Studio 2 is on Android. We've got the scrolling agenda. And that is it for this week's update. And back to Fonz. Bring Fonz. Right, okay. With this studio, radio stations really need to take advantage of this. Yeah, I mean, it's designed for calling, isn't it? Basically, anybody who's got a browser can click the link and come in audio only, and you could have a roundtable discussion with a dozen people. Right, now all we need to do, Fonz, is to be able to take this audio feed and push it live to the radio. What do you think? That would be excellent if we could actually push this video feed live to the radio. That could well be a development. But the thing about it is, and as a software developer, I can empathize with people developing systems totally. Whatever you do, whatever you create, people appreciate what you've done. I'm not saying they don't, but they do say, come up with a question, that's fantastic, but, and it's the but bit. And Fonz is agreeing that it's definitely a probability to actually use this for a call-in radio. Absolutely brilliant. In fact, there's an idea for a show, Fonz, in the evening. And Corinda is saying, oh yes, and love it. And we say hello to Dom. Hello, Dom, nice to see you. And Corinda is saying hello to Dom. That's what I love, networking, people chatting to each other, and absolutely brilliant. And that's the way it should be. Right, in other news, I just want to explain something, and I'm going to bring hopefully something back up on screen. Yeah, okay. So a slight diversion now. I posted this over the weekend, networking with friends. Okay, and Corinda's been asked for a link to his show or radio station. I posted this over the weekend, and basically I'm just lucky to have so many people who broadcast with me on a regular basis. And I just want to give a shout out to people you may already know, and if you don't, I'll introduce them. Brigetti Limbanda. Brigetti and I have a show on Fridays, and it's at 11 AM Eastern, 4 PM in the UK. And we talk about anything and everything. We had a discussion last week about plastic, and we had a discussion about a cause which Brigetti is promoting, and she'll be publishing a video shortly about it. On Thursday, we had the most amazing show. Right, on Thursday we had the most amazing show with Tina Vallant and Lottie Hearn and Brigetti, and we just did 2 hours non-stop broadcasting, which was a joy. It was just the conversation just flowed from one topic to another. I learned more about butterflies and milkweed than I've ever known, and Angelica and I went looking at the weekend for milkweed. Now is not the time to plant it, but we shall be planting milkweed next year to attract butterflies into our wild garden. So that's hot off the press news. But this is all about community. We learn from each other. We talk to each other. And Corinda has just posted a link to his radio station, Radionomy, and Mike PT Radio. Okay. Mike PT Radio. I'm just trying to work out exactly how that breaks down. Could you explain the name, please, Corinda? Okay. Right. And on Thursdays, I've got a show with, you can't see me moving the cursor, can you? You can't see me moving the cursor. This is, I'll do a screen share, you might, but that'll probably go to an infinity. But I'm so lucky. I do a show on Wednesdays, which to produce with Anita and Dolly. David Burrows, you know well. My partner, Angelica, you know. And then the Blubbing for Britain team. And of course, the man who's in the audience today, Fonz. So a shout out to everybody who features in that photograph. I'm fortunate to broadcast with every single one of them every week. And life doesn't get better than that. Okay, so back to me. And right, okay, let's catch up with the comments. And Fonz is right. Okay, just a minute. Let's bring the photograph back up. Now, in putting together, let's put it full screen because you can still hear me. In putting this graphic together, the battle is to actually get photographs that everybody's happy with. Now, Brigetti and Tina and Lottie there and Cheryl are all official photos. Anita and Dolly, their photos were from this June, so that's good. David Burrows hasn't changed his profile photo since forever. That photograph of me is pretty recent, and that photograph of Angelica was back in May. Then if I take that comment off the screen, and I'm hiding all messages, John Upton gets younger every day. He hasn't changed his profile photo for ages. Peter Stewart, I took one of his photographs. That's a photograph of Peter at work this year. Mr. Stephen Silk, his photograph is more recent than John's and Peter's, I think. Now we come to the guy with the newspaper. The guy with the newspaper, that's an iconic photograph because that represents the Cambridge historian. And I felt that said it all, really. But he's not dodgy at all. I know him quite well. And there we have. All right, okay, a translation helpfully from, I'm going to come back now, take that down, come back to me, Impact Radio. Right, okay, that's good. Thank you for that. I'll check it out after the show. And I'm going to try and get mine going. Run it for another month, then decide exactly what to do, I think. I've got everybody's contributing things, but I need to get the station up to date, and then give a real go of it in this July and August and see how it goes. Other than that, I might just put my music collection on Radionomy. Right, okay, if you're watching now, thank you. Earlier in the show, I covered the Be Live updates. I'm just going to run through those quickly again. So Be Live Studio updates, Studio 2 updates are as follows. The viewer comments display has been enhanced and it now shows a larger photograph and the text. On the Be Live Studio 2 show, you can have, and this is a beaut because I can see Fonz and myself and Fonz on his own, you can have unlimited audio only guests. So you could have 100 people in the audience and they could be heard but not seen. And Be Live Studio 2 is now available on Android, and as we saw earlier, the final new feature for the moment is that you can have a scrolling agenda. So the item on the agenda will just scroll, and as we found out, it also refreshes, and this is so good. Now we're joined, oh wait, somebody heard his name, just a minute. Right, and comment from Fonz. And I'm going to hide that. And Fonz's comment is hiding. You've broken it, Fonz. Just a minute. Oh, right. Let's see if we can get it up again. We'll try and get this photograph of Fonz on screen. Ah, right. Okay. It's it's a classic photograph. It's iconic. And Corinda's saying hello, Mr. Upon. And I'm not up on what. I can actually say hello to Mr. John Upton, who's going to explain about. He's watching down the allotment. Tell you what, John, we can do something live if you want. Now, right now. Take a selfie and send it to me in Messenger, and I shall show it on screen. Okay. Right. Or not. It's up to you. Right. And the next comment is from Corinda. And I'm going down the allotments. Yeah, I noticed you're back on Be Live. I caught sight of your show earlier, Corinda. Welcome back. With the thing we said this morning in the group, that there are so many good things happening with Be Live at the moment. We're waiting for Be Live Studio 2 on iOS, and it's not too far away. We're waiting for Be Live Studio 2 and YouTube, and that's not too far away. We're waiting for Be Live in YouTube as well. Once we go live on YouTube, then it opens up a whole range of things that weren't hitherto possible. One of which is quality recording, because if we get over onto YouTube, then we can have HD, which makes life a lot easier. Now, I want to tell you a little story. And the story is about something which you can do today to promote your show. And it all starts with wanting your Facebook Live video to be a vertical video on Instagram. You broadcast on Be Live, you broadcast on Facebook, the recording's there. But there is a problem. The format on Facebook is not compatible with the format on Instagram. So there is now a way to take your video to Instagram. Now, that means that what I did this morning, I'll just explain. What I did this morning, I've got repurpose.io from Animora, and it's got a new feature, which I'm going to talk about. Repurpose.io can take your videos from Facebook and it can create snippets from those videos. So from Thursday's show, what I did was to bring it into repurpose.io, and I was able to trim the front and back of the video till I got the segment that I wanted, the snippet I wanted. I uploaded that snippet to Google Drive, no problem. I didn't touch a button, I just touched a button and it was on Google Drive. So short 3-minute snippet was actually out on Google Drive. I then imported it into Facebook as a new video, as a teaser for the full show. So the full show is 2 hours. Nobody's going to watch a 2-hour show, but if you do a 3-minute teaser, then people will. So that's the first thing, that you can use repurpose.io to actually make snippets of existing videos on Facebook. But you've got the snippet on Facebook now, and it's 3 minutes long, not 2 hours. And because it's only a short one, then you can use Facebook. You can use Facebook to do all the comments. I'm searching for a word here. If you find it before me, what's the word I'm looking for? You know when you get the comments coming across the bottom? Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. So you can put the comments. Facebook transcribes your video and gives what everybody's saying along the bottom. So now you've got a video on Facebook, 3 minutes long, and it's got all the comments running along the bottom as people are speaking, which is going to get noticed. Now, here's the trick to go from Facebook to Instagram. You just go to repurpose.io, press a button, and your video will appear on Instagram. And I did that today. I did it. I'm going to do it again tomorrow. It's just a fantastic way of actually promoting your broadcasts, to take a teaser video from 30 seconds to 3 minutes long and post it onto Instagram. Just works. It worked first time. I didn't have to double check anything. I was able to do vertical video on Instagram using, and I'm going to bring it up on screen if I can find it. This is the usual thing. I've lost it. Repurpose.io allowed me to get vertical videos on Instagram. Those vertical videos will also go anywhere else that accepts vertical videos. And I'm going to be exploring this even more, because what we want to do is to get those videos out onto Twitter, out onto Periscope, to promote. We know that live video on Facebook is the best way to actually attract an audience. If we can put video and we can take it from what we've already done, we can take snippets from 30 seconds to 3 minutes and repurpose that everywhere, then we're reaching out to new audiences. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, along with 1,000 other things. And one of these days I will actually focus. And again, just a quick happy birthday to David, so that we can take segments out of the show and he can see them. Okay, now if anybody does want to pop in, you're more than welcome to do so. But I'm going to go through my agenda and see what else is here. This is, by the way, building for your community. And normally David would be here. David today is on duty. He's actually out and about in Sarnia. He's videoing Canada Day celebrations in Sarnia. We're on the BeLive Studio 2, and I can say now, if I can find, okay, just a minute, I'll find it. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. Right, okay, right. Whilst BeLive Studio 2 is in beta, it's free. Whilst BeLive Studio 2 is in beta, it's free to use. Whether you've used BeLive before or not, BeLive Studio 2, whilst it's in beta, and nobody's set an end date for the beta yet, is free to use. And also free, he said, is a course that I've put together, and you'll find it on, well, it's first of all, okay, right, okay, good. Now, one of the things I love is that if you make a typo, and you can see several there, that you can actually leave the, if you can make sense of that, then well done. This is whilst we're live. I'm actually editing an agenda. I'm going to take it off the screen, and I'm going to bring it back. Right, okay, and okay, so just bear with me a moment. I'm not going to go voice only, but I'm slipping over to Messenger. I set a challenge for a friend, and who's watching me down the allotment, and I'm looking for, if I can find it, this would be good. This is live video at its best. And if you're still with me, thank you. I'm just going to, right, okay. Sorry, John, I didn't mean that. Right, okay. This is a challenge. We are live, and we are live on Facebook. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide that, and I'm going to press that button, and I'm going to upload something. Hopefully I'll be able to find it. I'm going to go over to my hard drive and go to podcasts and see if I can find a photograph. Okay, so I'm going to bring a photograph up now, and this is very brave, it has to be said. This is very brave. I'm going to take that title off screen because I don't want to spoil the moment. Right, John, you're awesome. I did ask a few moments ago for a photograph of John on the allotment, a selfie, and I don't think he's going to use it for his profile photo, but this is John Upton at work on the allotment and watching live, and as he just said, he has sent a photograph. So there it is. Now I was able to do that and upload it from Messenger, well, take it from Messenger to my hard drive and then upload it, and I did it whilst I was chatting. That's the power of Be Live Studio 2. And John, you're a star. So there we have it. That photograph was taken moments ago, and it's now live on the show. Talking of shows, I'm just going to take that. I will show it again before the end of the show because you went to all the trouble of actually doing it. I'll come back to me and take that off screen. Okay, and I'm going to take that off screen as well. Okay, now talking of photographs, the photograph you can see now is from the Power Hour show, which is 1 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays, and you can see Dolly and you can see Anita, and well, I've been put in that photo, and I've become a stick man. Now I'm quite happy with that, but if anybody can come up with a drawing, a caricature, then I'd love for the caricature to go in that photo as opposed to the stick man. So that's my second challenge today, is if you are a caricaturist and you can produce a caricature to replace that stick man, then please do. Right, okay, and we are now back to the comments. All right, okay, and right. Okay, I'm going to give you the down low on this, Corinda. An allotment is a garden which is not wet next to your house. During the war, last century, there was a Dig for Britain initiative, which encouraged people to actually grow vegetables and food in their gardens, but also set aside were public areas where you could actually have a plot and you could use that plot to grow vegetables. And it's still going strong today. John will tell us all about it on Thursday. He's more knowledgeable than I, and he's still got his own allotment. Mine overpowered me about 3 years ago. But it's a way for people to actually grow vegetables and flowers, and anything that grows in the soil can be grown on an allotment. Basically, the land is either purchased or rented from the local council or a private concern, and that land is yours. You put a shed on there, you put all your gardening tools in the shed, you put a lock on the door, and when you have a free moment, and it's beautiful out there tonight, it's good weather for gardening, so you just go up to the allotment with your knapsack and either, well, not a can of beer obviously, but a coffee or a cup of tea or a glass of water, and you go gardening, and it's just a complete break from computers and everything, except when you're actually watching the Build Your Community show on mobile. Okay, so John will tell us more about allotments on Blabbing for Britain on Thursday. Show's coming up. Fonz and I are here at tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. in the UK with I Live Here, and we're looking forward to that. We don't know where we'll be, but we do know we can use Android mobiles, so it might be my turn to go out and about. We'll just have to see. So that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow's show. And then on Wednesday, this is a show that I produce, and Wednesday's show, I'll just take that down. So I've told you about the Stickman. Wednesday's show is the Power Hour with Dolly and Anita, and special guest this week is Dr. Marina Costina. Now, the format of the show is that Nita and Dolly talk for 15 minutes, and then their guest is on 30 minutes, and then Nita and Dolly close the show. As producer, I can only say I listened to the whole show. I've learned a lot. Most recently, I've learned all about bookkeeping and publishing your own book. There's a lot of information given out in the show. It's given freely by people who are at the top of the game and know what they're doing, as Nita and Dolly do. And it's just a blast. It's always good fun to actually be part of the show and be part of the Power Hour and be part of the team. So that is on Wednesday, 12 p.m. Central, which is where Anita and Dolly are, 1 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. in the UK. So let's take that down off screen and come back to right. Okay, and a question from Corinda. Corinda is asking, what about the bot show? RJ and I now do the bot show every month, not every week. RJ is busy building bots, so we now get together once a month. We've still got the building bots course, that's Bots for Broadcasters, is on Udemy, which will help. And I dare say that RJ and I will be back either later this month or next month with the Bots for Broadcasters special, as we look at the latest in messenger bot building. And I've been using a superb piece of software for the last 8 months, and it just runs faultlessly, and I'll be telling you all about that later this month. So thank you for the question, Corinda. And Bots for Broadcasters will be back. Not that we've ever gone away. We're just on our summer break for the moment, and it's good for a show to take a break occasionally. It just refreshes you. That's a subtle hint about Angelica and I going to Dresden, for anybody who's watching. So there you have it. Today's me, tomorrow's me and Fond. Let's go through this, bring it up on screen. Today's show is me because David is celebrating Canada Day. Tomorrow is myself and Fonz, who's the man with the newspaper. Wednesday is Anita and Dolly, and you will not see me on camera. Thursday is Blabbing for Britain, and you'll see John, Peter, Stephen, and me, and possibly Fonz on Thursday. And there's no Ask Angelica this week because it was last week. So who have we missing? I may well do a chat show, because we did a chat show last Thursday afternoon, 2 o'clock, 9 a.m. Eastern. That went down very well. So I may be doing a chat show. If you want to join me on camera on Thursday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. in the UK, then just let me know. I'll be promoting it here, there, and everywhere. And it's fair to say that I'm enjoying broadcasting on BeLive Studio 2. It's just the best. It keeps getting better and better. We've got today's updates released today. We're looking forward to being able to broadcast on YouTube. We're looking forward to having the iOS version. Both are in the works. Both will be here. The engineer's been working, I'm going to say all the hours God sends, I will. And we now have a situation where this platform is ultra stable. And okay, pardon me, just a minute. Thank you, Corinda. Brigetti and I, Brigetti top left, and I will be here live on Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. in the UK. And we had such a blast last week. Thank you to everybody who joined us. It's just all the shows seem to have hit a certain rhythm now, and that's whether we go with Blabbing for Britain or the Thursday show in the afternoon, or Power Hour, or I Live Here, or even this show today. It's always a pleasure to actually come out and chat with everyone. And networking with friends is what it's all about, but it's not networking with friends on camera only. It's networking with everybody. And that's the beauty of this, that I can react to comments and bring them on screen. And Corinda's saying, yep, we're a team. We are a global team. I mean, if we just look at that photograph for a moment, I have broadcasting friends in South Africa, in the USA, in Ireland, in Canada, and in Britain. So we've got 5.5 different countries represented there. And it's just amazing how broadcasting brings everybody together. So I'm eternally grateful for that, really. I'm grateful to BeLive.tv. So let's come back to me. Now, if you've got any questions about BeLive.tv, about the new Udemy course, which is free, about BeLive Studio 2 being free to everybody whilst it's in beta, then please ask. What I'm going to do after the show is I'm going to go to repurpose.io, and I'm going to take the chunk that has BeLive updates in it and take it out of the year, and then get subtitles on it. Hopefully Facebook transcriber will recognize my voice, and I can then output that to Instagram. I'm taking this Instagram and this promoting thing. So over to Corinda, and Corinda is saying, right, okay, that's a good idea. We could perhaps do an F1 show. I'm pretty we can do it if we start second half of the season in August. That would be good, and I'd love to have you on the photograph. No problem with that at all. That's good. Right, okay. So yep, that's a good idea. We'll go with that. Yeah, I mean the Formula One at the moment, Mr. Hamilton is running away with Formula One at the moment. Vettel is following. Bottas is doing very well, but somebody different won the Grand Prix yesterday, which is good to see, because what you actually want is racing. There was some racing yesterday, and Mr. Leclerc, who led the race, majority of the race, got caught in the last 2 laps, and he was in the lead, and he was going to win his first Grand Prix, and he came second. That's racing for you. These guys race around a track at 200 miles an hour for 1.5, 2 hours, and at the end of it, they are separated by seconds. Totally amazing. And to everybody who's watching now, thank you. If you watched the replay at the beginning, I talked about the updates on BeLive Beta Studio 2, which, whilst it's in beta, is free, and the updates you'll find if you just rewind to the beginning of the show. Right, so if you've got any questions, okay. Oh, you missed it yesterday. Okay, well, I've got to say, Hamilton didn't win. Vettel didn't win. You're going to have to go Dutch. And the winner yesterday was Verstappen, with Leclerc second. And you just need to catch the final few laps, because Verstappen overtook Leclerc when he shouldn't have been able to. And they had a stewards inquiry, which lasted 3 hours, but the result stands, which is better than the previous race where the person who came first finished second. Okay. So, as John has sent this in, I'm going to feature it on screen again. I've got to. Okay, so I'm going to take that down off screen. And this is, I can't caption it. This is Mr. John Upton, who's currently working on his allotment in Solihull. And John, thank you for joining us, and thank you for watching. All is good. And we're family, really. We broadcast together so many times. We're episode 183 this week of Blabbing for Britain. And it will be on BeLive Studio 2. I'm grateful to say. BeLive is quite probably the best broadcasting system out there. And I'm glad to be part of the team that beta tested this. Yes, that's right, beta tested. In case you missed it earlier, to everybody who's watching in Sarnia, Ontario, I wish you a happy Canada Day. And okay, and I can actually hopefully bring this up on screen. This is taken from Wikipedia, and it's going to scroll. Canada Day, of which the French is Fête du Canada. Canada is the National Day of Canada, a federal statutory holiday, celebrates the anniversary. I missed it that time. I'm going to get it this time. It celebrates the anniversary of the July 1st, 1867, the effective date of the Constitution Act. So, quick bit of maths. I'm going to get this wrong, but I think that's 152 years since independence. Yeah. Okay. So, happy Canada Day. Right. Okay. Now, after the show today, Angelica and I are going to go for a walk around Devizes because it's reasonable weather. But I've got a new Fitbit. I have got a new Fitbit. Now, there is a story to this. My previous Fitbit I've had for 5 years, and it went in my pocket and it was good. And it's been tracking my steps for the last 5 years. And it was a friend. It was a good friend. And it's kept me, sort of motivated me to actually go and try and do 10,000 steps a day, which is 5 miles a day. And Fitbit is a great way to actually motivate yourself to keep fit. But unfortunately, I left my Fitbit in my pocket when my jeans went in the washing machine. And I didn't know. You check all before anything goes in the washing machine. As gents, we're told to actually check all the pockets to make sure there's nothing in our jeans when it goes in the washing machine, because Fitbits do not like getting wet. I did leave it in my jeans. It did go on the washing machine. It did go the full cycle, because I didn't realize until then when Angelica took my jeans out of the... She didn't congratulate me on leaving my Fitbit there, but she did say, there's your Fitbit. And I plugged it in to recharge it. And after a day, it came back. I thought, okay, it's been rescued. I've rescued my Fitbit. My 5-year-old Fitbit is good to go. But the unfortunate thing was, its charge only lasted for a day, which is no good, because you don't want a Fitbit to fail whilst you're out walking. So, new Fitbit, latest technology. It does a whole host of things besides measuring steps, including measuring heart rate and reminding you to move every hour. So it's going on its first walkabout today in Devizes, and I should be endeavouring from tomorrow to actually do several thousand steps a day, which we all should. Walking is I'm going to get on a rant. Walking is the simplest form of exercise we've got. It doesn't cost anything apart from time and shoe leather. And you can go out your front door and you can walk anywhere. And you can walk in any weather. And all you need to do is put one foot in front of the other. We're not talking about running, which can play havoc with your joints. But walking, if you're walking around the house normally, you would do about 2 miles, between 1.5 and 2 miles. If you go outdoors and you walk for an hour and refresh your mind and tune into nature and just enjoy yourself. If you walk for an hour, then you're walking 3+ miles, which is 6,000 steps. And if you can do 6,000 steps a day, you'll be healthier. Now, if you can't, then I do empathize. But if you can physically do 3 miles a day, then you should give it a go. Let's catch up with the chat. And I'm going to take that off screen and bring up Corinda's question. So I can hide that. And hopefully hide it. And one question for Live Studio 2, can you broadcast anywhere apart from Facebook? At the moment, with Live Studio 2, you can broadcast on Facebook to pages, groups, and your profile. Pretty shortly, you'll be able to broadcast to YouTube and to Twitch. And also, I can tell you this because Daniel mentioned it in a broadcast last Wednesday, when Live Studio 2 was launched. Also, in the coming weeks, they will release what is known in the streaming fraternity as RTMP. What is RTMP, you ask? RTMP is a method of broadcasting. It really stands for Real-Time Messaging Protocol, RTMP. It's been around a long time, and it's a way of transferring video and sound around the internet. And there are sites which will accept RTMP feeds. So it means that from your BeLive broadcast, you'll be able to go RTMP out to anywhere you like. Anywhere that accepts RTMP, you can broadcast to. Now, the other thing is that this is good news for vMix users and for OBS users and for Slobs users. If you don't recognize that, that's Streamlabs OBS. Anybody who uses and needs and can provide an ingest feed, you'll be able to bring RTMP in as well as RTMP out. Now that's a sea change, a major change, because it means you can use whatever broadcasting tools you want. Use BeLive Studio 2 as the way to actually broadcast out, and you can RTMP out to anywhere you like. This is a game changer. This is the ability to live stream anywhere in the universe. Now, important point. Facebook and YouTube and others have a set of rules. That set of rules relates to the API. If you broadcast to Facebook using the API, you can only broadcast to Facebook. If you broadcast to YouTube using the API, you can only broadcast to YouTube. Them's the rules. We live by them, and BeLive live by them too. RTMP is a different way. You can't be as tightly integrated with Facebook or YouTube. For example, on Facebook now, I can in my studio, I can see the comments. And because I can see the comments, I can bring the comments up on screen. I'm just waiting for a second while that comment catches up and actually comes on screen. So just bear with me a moment, and my next comment will, that is a lot. That's a lot of places to actually broadcast. And Corinda is in awe of what's actually coming down the pipe. And okay, and we now get to Corinda again, lesson made. Okay, and we say hello to, wow, I'm trying to get the comment on the screen. We say hello to Lisa. Hello, Lisa. Oh, sorry, pressed the wrong button, Lisa, my apologies. We say hello to Lisa from Chicago, Illinois, and I'm just waiting. I'm trying to get that comment back. I want that to feature on screen. Right, Lisa, welcome to the show. This is a regular show, goes out 12 p.m. Eastern every Monday with myself and David. David is celebrating Canada Day today, and it's also his birthday as well. So thank you for joining us. I think we've actually connected. If you've got any questions about BeLive, you can either ask now or you can ask in the group if you want to join me on any of the shows this week. And there are quite a few shows this week. Let's just bring them up on screen. You can join me on 5 different shows. There's 5, 6 different shows this week. If you want to come on camera and just have a chat, you're welcome to do so. If you've got any questions about BeLive, you can ask anytime, or you can ask in the BeLivers group. BeLive Studio 2, to coin a phrase, is quite probably the best broadcasting software in the world, and it's about to get even better. Brilliant. Well, we are around the globe. We've had Chicago, we've had Canada, we've had the UK, and the UK again, and everybody's got together. This is about networking with friends live on video, on Facebook Live, and soon to be on YouTube, Twitch, and via RTMP, virtually everywhere you want to go. So you could go on Periscope, you could go, well, the list is endless. I'm going to have to make a list of all the places you'll be able to broadcast to with RTMP, because it opens up a whole new world and I need to be prepared. Okay, just to know, BeLive Studio 2, free to use whilst it's in beta. We don't know when the beta will end, so it's free to use at the moment. And if you're wondering how to work it, if you're an existing BeLive user using version 1, or you're a new BeLive user, if you go to Udemy and just type in me, and when I'm saying me, If you go to Udemy and you type in Steven Healey, then you'll find all my courses. And I'm happy to say that my new course has got 5 stars. My day has been made. And I love the fact that people actually enjoy the course and leave reviews for it. Well, we're coming up the home straight now. So let's go back to the comments and yeah, all good. Right. Okay, well, as I said, I'm about to go out for a walk with Angelica using my new Fitbit. And I'll tell you how it goes. Back tomorrow, 9 AM Eastern, 2 PM in the UK, with Fons Chamberlain as Ian and I do I Live Here. And finally, final reminder that if you want to be entertained, royally entertained, if you want to have an hour which makes you smile, makes you laugh, makes you occasionally frown because some of the stories are difficult to hear, then join the Power Hour on the Power Hour page at 12 PM Central on Wednesday with Dolly Cortez and Anita Myers. This is the 15th show, and we have a blast every week. We invite you to join us. The show is just it's just well structured. They're very professional, and they're fun, and they're talented, and I just enjoy being part of the show. I'm in the background producing the show, and as you can see, we do have a whole deal of fun on the show. And finally, at the moment in the photograph for the crew, I'm just a stick man. If you know somebody who can do caricatures, then please put them in touch with me, and I would love to replace the stick man with a caricature. So that's my final call. That's how you can help. Other than that, enjoy broadcasting on BeLive Studio 2 Beta. If you've any questions, ask me in the BeLive as a group. If you need to know anything, if you want a reference which is yours forever, go to Udemy and type in my name, and you'll see all my courses about a variety of topics, and you're welcome to take any or all of them. And there are 9 courses now on Udemy. I really enjoy teaching on there as much as I love broadcasting. For joining me today, I'd like to say thank you. So it's goodbye from me in Wiltshire in England, close to Stonehenge, Salisbury and Avebury. I'll be back with Fons tomorrow, 9 AM Eastern. Bye for now. Oh, and I'm using a virtual camera. I just want to prove that. I'm going to, with a virtual camera, just final party trick, I can actually change the color of my background at the flick of a switch. Take care. I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now. That's a wrap. Stop dreaming. Take care.